is given through monthly infusions.
It's an improvement. It's something in the right direction. It gives hope to a situation where there's not a lot of hope. We're close to 7 million people have Alzheimer's around this country, millions and millions more trying to care for them, and the idea that it's going to go up, we're looking at probably 13 million by 2050. We got to do something, and we need tools. And this Kisunla is a tool. You know why? Because it actually targets the beta amyloid plaque protein in the brain that gunks up the ability for nerves to communicate with each other. That's called the plaque protein. And by targeting it, this drug, it moves step forward, Mike, because it actually gets rid of this plaque. And in a large number of cases, they monitor you in 6 months or more. It's gone. You could actually stop it. The downside is a few things. First of all, it's only one part of the problem. Tau protein is probably even more a part of the problem. That's another one of these proteins that gunks up the brain in Alzheimer's. New studies on mice looking now towards humans look that it's even more effective than this drug. And then there's the issue of inflammation in the brain, another big piece that we're looking at treatment. So we're going to end up going forward with 3 or more tools to fight Alzheimer's, this being an important tool. Note this, Mike, over 18 months, there was a 30% decrease in progression of the disease with people on Kisunla. The biggest downside is a risk of brain swelling, which we see in about 1 out of a quarter. They haven't gotten that fixed yet. That's a big problem, because if you're a patient or a family member thinking about this, you look at the upside and you look at the downside, it ends up being a personal decision.
All right, well, Alzheimer's families looking for hope. Sounds like there are some hopeful signs on the horizon. Let's dig into the numbers. Americans living with Alzheimer's, currently an estimated 6.7 million as of last year. The projection is 14 million people by the year 2060. It is a top 10 leading cause of death in the country already and likely to climb. What is your experience, Doc, in dealing with it?
Isn't it awful funny that they come out with this for Biden?
Caretakers, and it's so expensive to try to take care of people, and you know, people are often in denial. They don't want to admit it, and people don't have the tools to take care of someone with Alzheimer's, and you have to hire aides, and people may not be able to afford it. And note this, the price tag on this drug, donanemab, which is Kisunla, same thing, is $30,000 a year. Now, Medicare is covering that, Mike, but not the co-insurance part, which is 20%. Well, they have to figure that out too. We can't have something that's prohibitive for poor communities, for socioeconomically disadvantaged communities. This is a huge, huge issue.
Oh,
we
just
have
for
to
Biden.
get the treatments on board for this disease, because it's a family disease. It's not just for the patient.
Great point. Then there's the FDA banning an additive called brominated vegetable oils, or BVO, used in sodas due to health concerns. Quote, the data from the study suggests that oral exposure to BVO is associated with increased tissue levels of bromine, and that at high levels of exposure, the thyroid is a target organ of potential negative health effects in rodents. Is this a smart move, Doctor?
Thank you for watching.
They've
Please
limited
subscribe.
it to 15 parts per million up till now, the FDA. But what's concerning the FDA is this stuff stays in tissues, and it increases and doesn't go down over time. And granted, it's only animal studies, as you just showed. But the problem with the thyroid gland is it's very sensitive. For example, Mike, if you have too much iodine in your diet, you can lead to low thyroid. And you won't even know it. You'll just suddenly say, I'm gaining weight, my hair is thinning, I'm getting depressed, what's going on? And I'll pick it up if you're my patient. But the same thing with bromide. It works the same way. It can interfere with thyroid function, and so I think this is a really good idea. This is a flavoring stabilizer, mostly in citrus sodas. And actually, the
Awful funny they come out with this right around the time Biden's got dementia.
Is actually getting rid of it anyway. FDA making the right
Isn't that a
Fox News medical contributor Dr. Mark Siegel. Always fascinating.
concern?
Thanks for joining us.
Great to see you, Mike. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you next time.